Hi, I'm Jeff Baker from The Oregonian. This is local film critic Mark Mohan. We're here to talk about two movies in the briefest amount of time. You notice we're standing behind a green screen, no visuals because we don't want you to actually see what these movies look like. If we did have a visual up there, it would be two turkeys fighting to the death. I'm talking, of course, about Aloha and San Andreas, the two studio releases for this week. Aloha, a so-called comedy loaded with stars, set in a gorgeous place, Hawaii, and it absolutely is. It's like a giant wave of nothing crashed onto you on the Hawaiian beach and left you soaked. Bradley Cooper, Emma Stone, Rachel McAdams, Bill Murray, on and on. All these go nowhere in a sort of weird military pseudo plot that just makes no sense. And the only conclusion that we draw is writer-director Cameron Crowe, so beloved for Say Anything, Jerry Maguire, Almost Famous, has officially lost it. Mark?
Yes, I agree. There are more dangling plot threads in this movie than there are puka shell necklaces at the Honolulu Airport tourist shop. That's my line.
Wow.
The other,
you had a minute to think of
I
that.
did have a minute to think of that. The other stinker is the probably the one that will do the best at the box office this week, which is San Andreas with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson versus the forces of nature. Everyone goes.
Guess
into
who
this
wins?
movie. Yeah, well, it's almost a draw, I would say, frankly. You go into this movie knowing it's a big, dumb disaster movie with The Rock and Paul Giamatti playing the schlubby scientist who has to warn everybody. It's all very stock. Those two, by the way, never even share a second of screen time, which is interesting. They filmed entirely separately.
On opposite sides of the fault line.
Right, presumably, and we don't want to go into whose fault this is necessarily, but some of the blame can be laid at the feet of the director, who is his name, Brad Payton, I think, whose previous opus was The Rock in Journey to the Mysterious Island. So you can see
These two, it's like a Scorsese De Niro thing. These two have.
Right, they're getting there. Yeah, they're working on it. Anyway, this is even worse than you would imagine. Not only is it big and dumb and loud, it just seems sloppy and kind of cheap in spots. Some of the effects are decent, but overall, you wonder what they were thinking.
It's sort of like, remember back in Airplane in the early days of, not Airplane, Airport, yes. Airplane, a much better movie.
Yeah.
Airport, they would like show a model of a plane and you could practically see wires hanging off the top of it. This one, particularly in the Hoover Dam scene, it's like so clearly a model, that like
Yeah.
plastic, like every time an earthquake hits, it just follows a perfect jagged line.
Well, you see the actors in close-up again with a green screen background, and then you see like these long shots of citywide devastation, and you never feel like the people are actually in the middle of all the mess.
Here, I'll come up with a question to go out on. Most ludicrous moment in San Andreas. My nominee is when they had like a pontoon powerboat, and they basically rode to the top of the tsunami, launched, and landed perfectly on the other side in a field of rubble.
Okay.
Years.
Okay. Mine is also boat related. I think when they're struggling to escape from this flooding high-rise hotel for minutes and minutes on end, while Mom is out there in the boat and never realizes until the last second the way that she can help them escape, which I won't spoil for anyone. But she could have done this 10 minutes earlier and saved us all a lot of time.
And Carlo Gugino, a favorite of mine too. Anyway, enough about San Andreas, enough about Aloha. It's supposed to be a beautiful weekend, and surely there's something on video for the evening. So thanks for watching. Only 2 weeks till Jurassic World.
Woohoo!